Hello, Greg Nussen from US. I need to ask you, as a film critic, what are you doing here in Gdynia at the film festival? What brought you here from so far away?
Sure. Well, I write for a magazine called Slant, and the wonderful organizers here at the festival for, I think, maybe the last 4 or 5 years, I'm not sure how long now, have graciously invited the magazine to send a writer to cover the festival. And last year, the editor of the newspaper, of the magazine, I should say, asked me, I don't know, a couple weeks really before the festival started if I was free.
Do you want to go to Poland?
Yeah, and I said, yeah, sure. And I enjoyed it so much last year that this year I actually asked if I could be sent.
Oh.
So, but I've always been very interested in Central and Eastern European cinema, and my lineage is Central and Eastern European, so I feel like, I have a certain connection to it.
Are there any things that strike you as something typical for Polish films? Like if we try to connect all of them in one big bucket?
Yeah, sure.
So what would be that?
Well, I actually do sort of feel like amongst national cinemas, Poland has a flavor to it that is very unique, and I'm interested in general in filmmaking all over the world that is highly political and socially important and prescient, and I think that what specifically interests me about Polish cinema is that it feels like a lot of the best films that come out of this country are just constantly trying to wrestle with this very tumultuous history, the last 100 years or so of Polish of political life, especially, is rich for storytelling.
So name me 3 of your favorite Polish films.
Okay,
like
sure.
Bam, 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 fast.
Okay,
Don't think too much.
Okay, Camera Buff, Kieślowski. I love all of his work, but that's my favorite of his. Last year at the festival, I really, really loved Olga Chaidas's film Imago. Oh God, what's the third?
So anything that comes to your mind? Maybe?
Yeah, Konwicki's film How Far, How Near. I'm not sure what the Polish title is, but
yeah, that's Jak daleko stąd, jak blisko, which basically means the same what you said in English. When you watch Polish films, what do you feel that could be interesting for your fellow Americans in Polish cinema? Like, I mean, the perspective on Polish cinema in US, if you could describe it briefly?
Sure. I think the association that most Americans have with Polish cinema is Kieślowski and Roman Polanski, because he worked so much in America. And Agnieszka Holland, same thing, also worked so much in Los Angeles. And so, or like Possession is hugely popular.
Andrzej Żuławski, you mean Possession, my favorite Polish director.
Yeah, I think people, like real hardcore cinephiles, I think have a much broader perspective on Polish cinema. But I think if you asked your kind of more casual film fan, they might describe Polish filmmaking as serious, very serious.
Very serious.
Yeah,
and I know that Polish film posters can be more popular than Polish films because we used to have this amazing graphic design, and even in some films I saw on the walls, the Polish design posters for American films.
Yeah,
so
the Andrzej Wajda film. The Iron...
Men of Iron.
Yes, Man of Iron. That poster, I feel like I saw that so much, growing up, and without any connotation of, or no knowledge of what that film actually is.
If you have your fellow American in front of you and you would recommend them a Polish film of your choice, what would that be and why? I'm always interested in this kind of personal choice from the heart.
Yeah. I think
not as I would say, commercial for Poland, that,
right.
Poland is like that, but something that could be representative from your point of view.
Honestly, I would go back to the Konvitsky film, How Far, How Near. It feels, it has a formalism and a aesthetic that I've never seen anywhere else, and it reminds me in some ways of other filmmakers like Federico Fellini or the writings of Italo Calvino. You know, it sits on this edge between reality and unreality, but the mood of it is unlike anything else I've experienced, and I think it's a great representative for Polish cinema. Of course, anything Kieslowski did, but you know, that's not a creative choice.
So one last question. Is there something that you would recommend to Polish filmmakers to maybe switch a gear a bit if it comes to what they talk about in their films? Do you feel that maybe a new era could be also implemented? Not only those things that you already know, but something that you would like to come, for example, in 10 years you come to Gdynia again, hopefully next year, but let's say 59th Festival Polskich Filmów Fabularnych, and you could expect something like what, for example?
I would love to see more queer representation. I don't see a ton of that. I know we have the Woman of, the Kobieta,
yes, Małgorzata Szymowska.
You know, I've seen, and Damian Kotzer's films have a queerness to them. I'm always interested in seeing a little bit more of that kind of representation. I guess, I would like to see more of that.
Thank you. Hopefully there's going to be new films from Poland that are going to satisfy your your taste.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.